Well, here, I'll do it again. This is the perfect example of Mercury retrograde. I did a whole video and it didn't record any of it, all 15 minutes. So here I am re-recording it, and I'll try to do exactly what I did before. So this video is going to deal with the Mercury retrograde that's going to start on February 26th and goes through till March 20th. The retrograde will be in Pisces the whole time in the fourth house, and Venus is also in Pisces, running right along there in the fourth house with Mercury. And as it goes retrograde, that's going to heighten sensitivity. So everything's going to be very sensitive and emotional. And, especially for Pisces, for Gemini, for Sagittarius, and Virgo. But each one of those will have a different reaction to Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Whereas Gemini is the sign of communication. Gemini might feel as though they're talking with marbles in their mouth. So they go to give a presentation, and it's like you rehearsed and rehearsed, and all of a sudden you don't even know what you're talking about. So that Mercury retrograde can have you left standing there unsure of what it is you're talking about. But you might want, if you have an important presentation or something you're wanting to talk about with somebody, you might want to wait till after Mercury retrograde. It might be better to do that, especially if it's important and it's job related. That would be my advice to the Geminis. As far as to the Sagittarius, which is ruled by nature and science, these kids like to go outside and do outdoor activities. You might be finding that you're going to be very perturbed when the weather does not comply with you and you've already paid for something. You may have to postpone and put things on hold, but just know that you can, after about 3 weeks, things will kind of straighten up for you, and it will look a lot better for you for Sagittarius. But Sagittarius being a fire sign too, that water of Pisces, that emotional water of Mercury and Venus can, definitely throw a damper on the plans that Sagittarius may be making that are outdoor related. I'm just saying. So you might want to, rethink things and just wait for a few weeks to replan. As far as the Virgo, the retrograde could bring back some health issues that you thought you had taken care of, but you kind of neglected and didn't follow through. So just know that could also be with mental health, with emotional health. You might find yourself feeling that you are experiencing a relapse of some sort in whatever area that you just went through that you were trying to get well from. It could be body, mind, or soul. It doesn't necessarily mean like a cold or flu, but I'm just saying that you might find yourself in kind of a relapse state. And that could also be with projects and things you're working on. It may relapse and come back to haunt you. So I'm just saying that the retrograde of Mercury could affect you in such a way, because you're also a Mercurial ruled sign. Virgo's ruled by Mercury, just like Gemini is. Gemini is ruled by Mercury as well. But Virgo rules the sign of health and service to the public. Gemini is communication. And so, those are two different things, but they're both ruled by Mercury. And then, of course, Pisces will definitely be affected in some way. I'm a Pisces, so I already feel the effects coming. I feel like I'm walking through quicksand. I felt very fatigued today, and I know it'll probably get a little bit worse until Venus goes into Aries on the March 6th. That's going to help it a little bit. So I won't feel so tired. And anyone who has major planets in Pisces or in that fourth house could feel that as well. But yeah, I think it's going to also affect the mundane outside of us, as far as the political world, the social scene, and media. I think that things will be put on hold, things will be halted, talks of war, those kinds of things will be put on hold and not follow through. So I think we may see things kind of slow down for the next 3 weeks in the social and political arena. Just kind of watch for that. Although we did have, just recently have the eclipse that was right there coming in right before the Saturn and Neptune, conjunction in Aries. So, it's still in the background. These things are brewing in the background, but things will be put on hold for a while and won't manifest right away, probably until Mercury goes direct. But it will be emotionally charged in a lot of ways, and that might also play out in the media, on Facebook, and in the news cycle. You might see a lot of emotionally charged arguing going on. That really, I, it's just a miscommunication of things and how we perceive things, because it's, like I said, heightened sensitivity. The Pisces retrograde Mercury and Venus will be in the fourth house, and the fourth house represents home, family, emotional security, the mother. So you may even have issues. You and your mother may also find yourself fighting and arguing, or your children may be, acting out in ways that you don't even know whose children they are anymore. So I'm just saying it will affect people through the fourth house, wherever that is in your chart. You can also leave a message in the comments below if you're interested in knowing, your natal chart. There's lots of free charts out there, and I'm more than happy to look and see where you might be affected. But those four signs that I said will definitely feel the most of this, and that's Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces. Those are all the mutable signs. And the reason that mutable will feel it is because we're used to being able to maneuver and without without as many limitations. We don't allow the limitations for mutable signs the way a lot of fixed and cardinal signs. They handle things differently. But we may also see for Capricorn that, something that you had thought would work out in the past on a job or money wise, it didn't. It may come back around and be in your favor this time. So it's not all negative. There's some positive aspects as well. So for Capricorns, I would say I probably wouldn't do any heavy gambling or stock exchange. I might wait till the 3 weeks are up. But as far as seeds that you planted, you might be harvesting and reaping that, when the other signs are not. So Capricorn, being that earthy, that cardinal earthy sign, does have a way with, Capricorn smells the money. They know where it's at. They know how to maneuver around to find it. So I'm just saying it could be a positive time for that. So you may find that you're going to get a job that you thought you'd already lost and didn't, just hadn't heard from them, so you just gave up on it. It may come back around. So things do come back around during retrograde. It's not all negative. Everything that starts with the RE, like return, revamp, renew, that's a good one. Things come back around. We get to review. So it slows us down a bit from the hectic, lives that we lead, so that we might see some positive signs along the path. Sometimes if you're moving so fast, you will miss the positive road signs on your path that help you to get to your destination faster and easier and in better condition. But when we're moving so fast, we don't see all the signs. So retrograde has a way of helping slow that down. But when it's in Pisces, Pisces is a very dreamy sign that is, it rules the 12th house of Neptune, which is secrets and dreams and, higher learning. So also, I think that this Mercury retrograde is going to bring back some unresolved issues that you might have had with your significant other, for those that you love. So, you might actually get another chance to make things right. and it works out this time. So that's a positive aspect. Also, you may find that there are, people from the past that you thought you'd never see again. All of a sudden, there they are. You run into them in the grocery store. That Mercury retrograde can bring those things back around. So unfinished business, things like that, it will come back around. Um, Also, let's see here. I made notes for myself um, to make it easier for me. And let's see who else might be uh, affected. I made a note here. Now I know, okay, like I said, we don't want the ram. Aries is all pumped up because of the Saturn Neptune and plowing forward. It's the fire horse sign right now. So, but that Aries energy, don't get don't let yourself get too pumped up so that you look like a bully and that you're pushing your way through and you're being very aggressive, because you might just push yourself out of a job, or you might push yourself out of the project that you were hoping to get done because you were working so hard and diligently. Just sit on it for a bit. Let it kind of happen. Aquarius will probably be the least affected sign, since it's not a very emotionally driven sign. I think just the same with Capricorn. I do believe Aquarius may reap some benefits that were thought that might not happen. So just know that you might find yourself renewing a contract that you wanted, or renewing a friendship or a relationship. So it can also work for that as well, in that sense. So it's not just a negative. Mercury retrograde is not all a negative thing. I think for Scorpio, I definitely think that there could be some past, there could be some past lovers that come right out of the closet. Be careful. They might all come at the same time, as you're vibrating on that sexual charge. So I would just say, don't be surprised with those that you thought that you ended, and here they come back around for another round of that sexy Scorpio energy. But it might be at the wrong time when you're in a very happy happy place with who you're at, and all of a sudden here comes an ex knocking on the door. I'm just saying. But I do believe that each sign will have its own you know energetic uh, uh, what I'm trying to say. Each sign will have its own connection to the Mercury retrograde. So I think for Libra it could be a redesign. It's maybe reorganizing the home and actually redecorating during this time, because not all the signs are going to be affected in an emotional way. The ones that I said in the beginning are going to be the most affected in the emotional body: Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius. So you know Leo, um, I think that you'll find your way through all of this, since you do tend to put on a good dramatic roaring display that can be a good can be a really good to divert attention from matters that are just too serious. But I would say, for you lions, if you're thinking about going to get your hair cut or get your hair done or whatever, you might want to wait till after retrograde, because you might just find that your hairdresser that you did not know was a Pisces or a Virgo all of a sudden has an idea of what you want, and you come out and it's and your bangs are up to your forehead. I'm just saying, you might not want to get your hair cut during the retrograde, because you are ruled by your mane, and that is real important to you. So that would be my advice to you, Leos. Wait. Okay. Cancer, well, you're pretty much emotionally drained right now anyway, since Jupiter has been retrograde in Cancer. So I would say just scurry back into that shell for a couple more weeks until it's safe to come back out again. But come out when you have to, and then self protect and nurture yourself during the next few weeks, because you're emotionally drained at this point, and you don't want the dynamic vampires out there to take the rest of your energy and drain your batteries. So, but I will do another video about the upcoming lunar eclipse that's on the 3rd, and we'll talk about that later. But for right now, this is the Mercury retrograde. So I would say just dig in and enjoy the retrograde. Once you know, then you can prepare and plan. I mean, once you know what you're up against, and if it's emotionally charged time, then just know that you can avoid certain places, certain people. It's up to you how you handle that. You can't control all these people outside of you, but you can certainly control how you react to what others are going to do. And some may be acting like a fool. All right? I'm just going to put it out there like that. So have a great evening, and I'll be back in a few more days with another video for the lunar eclipse. Have a wonderful evening. I just love you all so very much. And don't forget to leave a comment in the section below if you have questions about maybe your natal chart or where you can get one, because there are a lot of places you can get them for free. All right? Have a wonderful evening. Namaste, everybody. I don't know why I did that. It was so stupid.